South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. Welcome to a brand new week on Afternoon Express. I'm Jeannie D.
Absolutely. Hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Yesterday was International Human Rights Day, as well as the wrap-up of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And today we're joined by two incredible women who embody the spirit of the campaign. First up is singer and actress Neli Sibiya, who wrote the powerful song Mama Bafana, which is dedicated to her late mother and features on one of South Africa's biggest television dramas.
Her voice is just
Superb.
Outstanding. It's almost haunting, like you get goosebumps listening to it. It's so good. Then we sit down with Sarahina Mayoyo, the inspiring author of a book called I Fell in Love with My Abuser, But God. It tells the story of how she was sexually abused as a child and how she managed to find redemption. Now she is a life coach and helps women across the country to achieve their full potential.
Beautiful story. Head over to our social media platforms and join the conversation. Today we're asking, how have you showed your support for this year's 16-day of activism? Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using our official hashtag Afternoon Express or comment on our Facebook page.
Then don't forget, it is the Clicks Advent Calendar 2017, where we are giving away 36,000 Rands worth of prizes over 12 days. We are on day 6, which means that there are still 8 prizes up for grabs, each to the value of 3,000 Rand. All you have to do to win is call in live on 021 430 9881 when we say the lines are open. So don't call in yet, but keep your phone handy, and when we say so, lift that phone and give us a dial.
It's going to be a great show on Afternoon Express. Now, can you believe it? 2 weeks, ladies and gents.
Wow.
2 weeks until Christmas. And everyone's being invited to these birthday parties. I haven't received an invite to yours, but I'm sure it's coming in the post pretty soon.
Definitely,
And
it's coming.
everyone always has to bring something to a dinner party. And everyone's kind of always has to bring like a main course or a starter. I've been asked to do desserts. Can you help?
Definitely. And today we've got bruleed custard tarts.
Yummy.
Easy recipe.
Really? So make me look fancy, like I've done this, like put a lot of hard work into it, but
Definitely.
make it looking simple.
Yeah,
Awesome,
that's the way.
delicious. Well, Kunai's got all those details later on the show. So much to get through and so little time. Let's kick off a Motivation Monday on the couch.
Now, first up, we are joined by singer and actress Nelisiwe Sibiya, who juggles a successful career in the limelight while continuing to study musical theatre at Tshwane University.
Her unique musical style is described as Afro-Maskandi, and she's responsible for writing songs for one of South Africa's biggest television shows, including the powerful track Mama Bafana, which was written in honour of her late mother.
Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Hi, how are you?
I mean, we were watching you during your sound check, and
You're
it's
extraordinary.
Just, you are, exactly,
Yeah.
extraordinary is how I would describe
And then, of course,
you.
we stalked your Instagram page and we were like, girl, you are sizzling.
You are doing all the things.
You're all the things.
I'm really
All of
trying.
them.
I'm really trying. I think it's time. I think this is the best time for me. And why not?
And it's such a beautiful story, because I think a lot of your success came from a lot of pain, perhaps.
Yeah.
So, I mean, tell us that story. How did your song come about for lockdown?
So what happened is my Mandla N,
The
guy,
producer.
yes, the producer.
Yeah.
He asked to work with me. Obviously, he saw my videos on Instagram. I know. He saw I usually post a cappella videos on Instagram singing my Maskandi music, because I sing Maskandi. And he told me that, Nelly, I'd like to work with you on this project. And it was still new. I think he was still not even, I don't know, like it was still new. He was just trying to tell me that, Nelly, I need to work with you. And I was like, okay, let me just try this thing. Because honestly, at the back of my mind, I just wanted to leave the country, go and do the Lion King or do Africa, because I was really scared. You understand, I have pain, I have my things that I'm hiding, and I was really scared of being in the limelight and having to deal with the media. But he came at the right time. Then he had to wait for months, because I was busy at school. I was doing my final year in musical theatre. He waited for months, and then in November, my mother passed away, and I had to go to KZN. He called me, Nelly, we need to work, like it's urgent. I was like, okay. I had to leave. My mother's funeral was on Saturday. I had to go back to Joburg on Sunday. It was in KZN. Had to go back to Joburg on Sunday. On Monday, I was in studio, and then we created Mama Bafana. He asked me, so what's the reason you'd go to jail? And I told him that the only reason I'd go to jail is maybe when I kill a man, because I I've been through a lot in my life with a man we really thought he was supposed to be our father. But there were emotional abuse. We were called, at some point in my life, number one, the reason why I was really hurt, I had to build a house for my mother from scratch. When I did matric in 2010.
What led you, sorry to interrupt you, what led you to want to build a house for your mother? Because when you're in matric, that's unfathomable, because it's not necessarily something that's within your grasp. But why were you so desperate to need to build a house for your mother?
Okay, I think when I was 9, my sister, she was an amazing vocalist. She passed away. She left us when it was 4 months. After that, I got sick for 9 months. So my mother didn't want to lose another child. So she left KZN and we went to stay with my aunt, which is her sister. And they were fine, life was good, but the abuse was, it was
from your
crazy.
Aunt, from your aunt and uncle?
Yes, so we had to leave. I remember at some point we had to leave and stay in Northwest.
What kind of abuse? Was it physical, emotional?
It was emotional, and like they would make us feel that we're worth nothing with my sister, especially my older sister. And it was crazy. That time I have cousins who are almost my age, and I'll find myself doing everything in the house. And I was still young, I was 9. My mother was like, we're not gonna be able to stay here. We moved to Northwest. And that's how we proper Zulu. We can't even speak Tswana. We had to move from Northwest into another grand from my church and stay there. So, and then the house that we got, my sister, she bought, but she was still young. I think it's through the lawyers and everything. At some point, we grew up knowing that we had to do certain things so that we can stay in that house. And when I grew up, I realized I can't live in such an environment.
What certain things? Like,
we had. Honestly, now there are loans I owe because I had to put my name, or I had to take the loans in my name for that man. And I haven't paid the loans because I haven't got the money to pay the loans.
But you didn't get the money, it was another man who was taking the money.
Yes.
who is this man?
Name.
A man,
Yes.
Your uncle.
Your mother's partner?
Yes, it was him. I have to pay the loans even now. The trackers, I remember I was working as a promoter after matric because I was saving for my fees. Because I knew the only way I can get out of this environment, it's when I can actually go to school. I've always wanted to go to school. And my mother couldn't afford. My mother was just, she was selling at school, the primary school that I was at. And she couldn't even afford my fees. So I told myself I had to even open a separate account to actually save the money so that no one knew about the money. No one knew about the money that I had. I saved the money on a separate account for 3 years. And then in 2014, I told my mother, I'm going back to school. She's like, but you don't know anyone. I'm like, no, but I have to go back to school. I need to study. You know, we have to change the situation around here. Just when I was about to go to school, she told me, okay, since now you're old, seems like you can take care of yourself. I'm going to KZN. Where are you going in KZN? We don't have a house in KZN. I decided to take the money that I saved for my fees for 3 years and build a house for my mother. Because she was going to stay at my uncle's place. And obviously my uncle has other kids. He has his kids and wife. Imagine, that's another pressure for him. So I decided to take my money that I saved for my fees and build a house. Immediately after the house was done, she passed away and left it.
Whoa.
If I can tell you one thing, listening to you sing, you can hear your soul come through your voice. And I'm so sorry for everything that's happened to you in your life, but I think you can continue to believe that you're going to have such tremendous success, and you absolutely deserve it. Really, you're beautiful.
Thank
you for being here.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Make sure you stay tuned till the end of the show when Nelly will be treating us to a live performance. Plus, we've got the 2017 Clicks Advent Calendar coming up later. So keep your phone handy and our number on speed dial. That's 021 430 9881. The lines will only open on our command. We'll be right back. Oh, my God.
Express yourself. You could win daily cash and airtime prizes or a Toyota RAV4 when you enter the hashtag WayBetterTogether competition. Buy a 1 kilogram classic custard and a 1 litre crush together, have the barcodes from both products and the till slip in hand, and dial *120 *5676 hash and follow the prompts. T's and C's apply and full competition details can be found on clover.co.za.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, live on SABC3. Yesterday saw the wrap-up of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and we're joined now by a woman who truly embodies the message of the campaign.
Sarahina Mayoyo is the author of I Fell in Love with My Abuser, But God, and it tells the honest account of her life and upbringing in a family where she was sexually abused by an uncle and how she managed to find redemption and peace.
Welcome to the Love, Sarahina.
Thank you so much.
Happy to have you with us. Thank you for being willing to share your story with us.
Thank you for the platform.
So yours is a story of survival, a story of triumph and overcoming adversity, but there was a time when you were a victim.
Yeah.
And you say you fell in love with your abuser. Who was your abuser, and at which point did you fall in love with him, and how did the abuse play itself out?
Okay, so I was 5 years old, and I had just moved with my paternal family, my father's family, and so at home there was a lot of us being brought up by grandparents. So there was a lot of cousins, and I was the only girl. And within the cousins, there were a lot of other people that were living there, being brought up, and we sort of all became family. So uncles and all of that, you know, call each other uncle and cousin and all of that, but really we're just people being raised by one family. So one of the people that we were living with, and who was to me an uncle at the time, started getting very close to me. Now, I had moved from a family that I was very used to and loved, and I was the only grandchild where I was coming from. So I had all the attention, I was everybody's apple of the eye. And now I was in a place where I didn't understand why all of that is gone. And I also was angry because I wasn't with my biological parents, so I had a lot of questions. And in that, I found somebody who saw me. He gave me attention. He would tell me that he prefers me over the other cousins and all of that. So, you know, it started like that, and then it
He was essentially grooming you for that place
Sort
that
of,
he would then,
you know, but at the time I didn't know what was going on, so somebody's just giving me attention. And then it started when he would start getting very close to me, and it started becoming physical.
How old was he?
He
When you were
was
5?
in his teen. He was in his upper teens. And so he started taking my hand to touch him, and then he would touch me as well. And he said it's a game we played. And he said, actually, that it's a reward I get for being a good girl. So first week, that's all that happened. We just touched. And then a while later, it started getting serious, where he put me on top of him, like carrying a child, and he had a blanket, and it was at night, so the other people were sleeping. And that's when the sexual abuse started. I remember I almost cried, but he told me not to make a noise. And I sort of cried internally. And when I went to the bathroom, it was painful, but I was angry. Weird thing, I wasn't angry with him. I was angry with my family. I was wondering, why was I there? Where are my parents? And why was I sent to this family? And then also, I'm thinking, who am I going to tell? Because I've just moved here. And here, people have been living together for a long time, so probably I won't be believed. So I decided to keep it a secret, and it continued. Continued until I was 6. And I got so used to it that if it doesn't happen, I actually thought I did something wrong.
And it was fully sexual?
Yes, it was. And then when I was about to turn 7, he left. And I remember I had mixed feelings. I was glad that this thing was going to stop, but I was hurt because here again somebody's leaving me. And I felt that abandonment as well, like, is there something wrong with me? Why do I, when I attach myself to something, people just leave. And from then I decided that it's me against the world, it's fine, this is life, and I'll start protecting myself. And then I became a tomboy. I hated looking like a girl. And at school I became a bully. Because I told myself that I'll hurt before I get hurt. Yeah, so that's when that happened. And
at this stage, you're missing this man. You realize you had like a strong attachment to him.
Well, yeah, because I was missing being seen. Somebody actually seeing that I'm there and saying something to me. And then life happened until I was 10, and when I was 10, my parents took me, because my parents were very young when they had me. So now they got married, and they had now a house and means, yeah, and they took me in. And I remember thinking they probably they're taking back their bubbly girl that they knew before,
without knowing all the wounds that were
and
there.
I actually said to myself, they actually don't know who I am now. And I decided to just have 2 personalities. I had the personality that fit the picture at home, and then I had the personality for the streets where I felt that was who I was. That was the truth me. And yeah, my teenage years were like that. At school, I hated the girls who were pretty and pure and, you know, girls
because
proud,
they presented an innocence you didn't
proud
feel like
of
you
being
had.
virgins and all of that. And I stood there and I said to myself, can I call myself one? I can't. It happened, even though it wasn't at my consent, it happened. And whenever somebody talks about purity, I'd be like, what's the point? I feel like I'm already damaged. So what's the point of this purity you're talking about? And so my teenage years at school even, I just became loose. And I said to myself, I've really got nothing to look forward to. So the quicker I get to the end, the better.
You've got an amazing story, and I'm so grateful that you're sharing it. We're going to continue the conversation in a little while. Thank you so much for being so brave to tell us the story.
Thank you.
Clover Classic, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover.
Amazing stories on the show. Please use the hashtag Afternoon Express and join the conversation. Without trying to sound contrived, we're very excited to be in the kitchen right now to obviously make some delicious desserts as the festive season approaches. And there's no doubt that Clover Classic custard should be a staple in every single home. Packed full of the goodness of Clover dairy, is no wonder that it's loved by South African moms and kids alike. Served hot to cold, it uses an endless, even though its uses are endless, however, even though obviously it's served right out of the box, and that is still my favorite way of eating this particular dessert. So Akonaya and I myself will be using Clover Classic custard today, but in a very interesting kind of way, because you're going to be making tarts. And I've been tasked with bringing dessert to the Christmas dinner that I'm off to. And you're going to be showing me how to make a quick, simple, and easy way to use it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can not call it a custard tart, be like crème pâtisserie.
Crème pâtisserie.
Definitely, there you go.
Sounds so much better, you know what I mean?
So this is a very, very, very easy recipe, thanks to the Clover Classic, obviously.
Cool. Show me.
So with that, you just need to warm up your Clover Classic custard.
Cool. Am I using all of it?
Yeah, all of it, all of it, all of it.
Ooh, this is the fun part. I've never actually got to pour out the whole thing. I'm used to eating the whole thing, but only in bits. I don't feel too guilty about it.
Oh no, I used to pour it all out, cut it up with a spoon inside.
Oh yes,
right
yes.
in there. So we're trying to thicken that into making like a nice creme per se. Okay. So you have your your starch in here, and then you make a little paste with that with a little bit of milk.
And that's just a thickening agent that you're creating here, like you would do for any kind of white sauce or whatever. Okay.
So you try and make a little bit of a
paste. This is also a fun, like, science trick. I don't know if you guys have ever played with it at home. It's like such a good childhood memories of making like that stuff that like goes solid when you energize it, and then it goes really liquid if you let it loose.
Yeah.
Lots of fun to play with. Yeah.
So once you have that, you want to add sort of your starch while it's still cold. Okay. Because once that is hot and you add this, it will just lump up.
Oh, I see.
So that's not what you want. You want it while it's still cold.
Cool trick. I'm going to get the whisk so I can start mixing that up in the meantime. All right, so this is going to go like this. And then obviously one of the things that I've heard before is that if you mix these two things together and you heat it up, sometimes they can come out a little bit too thin, which is why you've added this in here.
Definitely.
But what happens if this still doesn't help?
Well, then you've got egg yolks. Egg yolks are your closest friend after starch.
Really?
So you just crack a few egg yolks, you temper it. So once that is hot, obviously you'll see that it's not thickened to your liking consistency. You will slowly add your hot liquid to your cold eggs. Slowly, like a little bit of amounts. You try to introduce your heat to your cold.
Yes.
Because obviously if you add just that, you'll just have scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
You don't want
that for dessert. Yeah, that's not fun.
No.
So should I try and pour this in there?
No, not as of yet. Let's get it to get a little bit hotter. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then here, we've got some vanilla extract.
Yummy. Oh, and vanilla extract, the one's got the little black dots on it, which is actually really awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So basically, inevitably, you're making the custard inside of your tartlets. So we're going to be showing you how to decorate those in just a bit. But this is the inside of the tartlets. It's got all the Clover Classic custard inside here, which is yum.
And I feel like this is one dessert you can get sort of the whole family involved. If you've got kids,
totally.
The others are whisking.
Some are chopping the fruit and vegetables.
And then what you have here is the tart cases.
Okay.
It's very simple to make. Very, very simple. It is just your puff pastry into... You can make a big one, a very big one if you want it as a sharing
big
dessert.
tart,
If it's a small one, cut your puff pastry into a muffin tray, squish it in, and then we blind bake it.
Okay.
Blind baking just means you can have your grains, could be your rice, could be your beans, into a little baking paper in the middle so that the middle can actually have a hole.
Okay, so it doesn't swell up into the middle. All right.
Definitely.
Then you fill up the inside of your tart with obviously the custard we've pre-made before, and they come out looking amazing just like that. What you can do on top is you just treacle some of this caster sugar on top.
Do you want to
and
show
then you brûle it. No, I'm not going to show people today. I'm going to burn the whole kitchen down. I've tried this before. So basically you just brûle it with if you guys have got your own torches at home, you brûle the top and they come out looking delicious like that with your very own fruit. Simple and easy. Obviously this is definitely a great way to blend the mouth-watering flavors of Clover Classic custard and all that summer has to offer. And if you want to get this recipe, then don't forget to SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 at a cost of R1.50, and your free SMSs don't apply. Now it's time to bring Clover home for the holidays with amazing Clover hampers to be won. All you have to do is head over to our Facebook page and comment on the Clover Classic Custard post with the answer to this simple question. What holiday dessert is only complete with a dash of Clover Classic custard? And if you've missed any of the steps to this recipe, here's a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.
It's a motivational Monday on Afternoon Express, and we've got more from inspiration from that author we've got in the loft with us today, Sarahina Mayoyo. She's coming up after the break. And also don't forget, the 2017 Clicks Advent Calendar giveaway is coming up later. So don't forget to save our number and keep it on speed dial. It's 021-430-9881. Now, to reiterate, the lines will not open until we say so, all right? We'll be right back after these.
Clover Classic, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover.
Get a taste of the smooth life and win when you buy Tropica. Follow the entry details on your Tropica bottle and stand a chance to win daily airtime prizes, weekly giveaways of Fujifilm Instax cameras, Daniel Klein His and Hers watches or travel vouchers. You could also win the grand prize of a trip for two to the Maldives and stay at the luxurious Adoran Resorts. Visit tropica.co.za for info and T's and C's.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're still on the couch with both Nelly and Sarahina, who both suffered tumultuous abuse at the hands of family members. And theirs is a story of hope, a story of courage and triumph. And we're very grateful to both of you for sharing your stories with us. So before we went to the ad break, you were sharing how the abuse played itself out. Now, if there had been at any point somebody who came to you and really asked you the right questions and to find out what was going on, do you think you would have opened up and shared?
I love that question because that's actually how I came out. I felt when I was young and going through this, I felt that nobody asked the right questions, and I was angry because I felt that how could no one see that something was happening to me and I was changing as well. And it took somebody who fought hard enough for me to actually get the secret out of me. And that is the man now, that is my husband. And he fought hard enough to get the walls down, to get to what had happened to me. And I think, you know, I can sum it up and say that love sort of fetched me from that dark place that I was at, because no matter what I did to him, and I did a lot of ugly things to him, he fought hard enough and he sort of bulldozed the door that I had, that I enclosed myself in. And which is why also I do the work I do now with survivors as well, is because I know that you have to push through the rejection that you get from somebody who's been through something like this, because it's not easy coming out with a secret that you've protected for such a long time. It takes someone who's got that tenacity to say that I see something in there and I'm fighting for it, you know. And I think had I gotten that opportunity growing up, you know, it would have made a difference. But then also, I don't want to only depend on that, you know, because when I share my story, I tell people that sometimes I wish I actually dared the fear and just told someone. It would have saved me so many years that were wasted being angry, and anger led to a lot of bad decisions. In high school, I couldn't have relationships with my peers. It was only older men, you know, and that's all I knew, and that's what I did. To cope, I started drinking alcohol in high school, and after high school, it was smoking, weed, and all of these things, and all I was trying to do was trying to run away from the video, because it played in my mind.
To self-medicate.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Speaking about making a difference, Nelly, you've also got I saw that you've got your hashtag Mama Ka Bafana challenge. What exactly is that?
Hashtag Mama Ka Bafana challenge, as we're still celebrating 16 days of activism. It's just a way of expressing yourself when you're listening to Mama Ka Bafana, because everyone always says Mama Bafana, it's emotional. We're just trying to get involved or spread the word that women abuse, gender-based abuse must stop through music, which is Mama Ka Bafana. So when you're doing the challenge, which is Mama Ka Bafana challenge, you just listen to the song, and whatever that comes into you, do it. If it means you have to sing, sing. If it means you have to dance, dance. But then show aside that we must stop the abuse, because there's thousands. It's something that happens every day. It's something that happens everywhere. So we're just trying to communicate through the song, which is Mama Ka Bafana. Because if you can actually listen to the lyrics, it simply says, "We Mama Ka Bafana Bafana ngangimthanda kwakuyiphutha umbulala," which means I was only protecting myself when I killed my partner. He was abusing me. I'm sorry. I know I killed him, but it was not intentional.
It actually reminds me of that story that we've seen online now about that girl in, I think, where is she? She could be in the States. Who's actually in jail because she killed the person who was raping her. And it's ridiculous that she's in jail. But anyway, let's hope that she can get help to get out as well. But thank you so much for sharing your stories. You're both such immensely brave women. Love having you here.
Thank you.
Now, if you're an avid traveller, then stay right where you are, because after the break, we take a look at a new travel card that is revolutionising the way we take money abroad, giving you the ability to load up to 10 different currencies on one single card. Stay right there.
Express yourself.
My son's name is JD. He's now 4 years old. My child is diagnosed with rhabdomia sarcoma. It's a cancer in his left leg. Choke help us too much in this journey with accommodation, transport, to make our journey a lot easier.
CHOC is one of South Africa's leading organizations who aid families stricken with pediatric cancer. Afternoon Express, together with my school, are committed to helping CHOC raise funds for a newly refurbished outpatient home. You can get involved by signing up for your free virtual My School, My Village, My Planet card today. Download the My School app, select CHOC as one of your beneficiaries, and you'll automatically be entered into a weekly loot.co.za competition. Together we can make every swipe count.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, the festive season is upon us, and for many, that means travelling abroad. Now, if you're putting together your last-minute planning, then listen up, because we've got just the product for you.
As we approach the much-needed December holidays, we're all excitedly planning our next trip and figuring out where to go. And when we finally reach that point where we've packed our bags and bought our flights, we want all of that stress and worry to just disappear. And that's why Nedbank have launched their brand new travel card, which allows travellers to travel safely and more conveniently than ever with their money. And here to tell us more about it is Desmond Osmond from Nedbank. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and great to be here.
Lekker. So I'm off to London, and I was always wondering why it is so unsafe to carry cash with you. Do I convert my currency now? Do I convert it there? Do I pay on a card? But apparently you're going to tell me that it's probably easier to use your travel card.
Exactly. So it is quite a stumbling block, especially if you're a first-time traveler. You go into an international trip, you get into London, and you say, do I get currency in London? Do I buy pounds there? Do I buy pounds while I'm here? The traditional route is that people end up just taking their credit card and saying, hey, man, I'll figure it out when I'm out there. But what you end up doing with that is you end up spending on your credit card excess fees, all sorts of other things that come on board with spending on your credit card. Not that you shouldn't, but hey, there is a new way to do it. And that new way to do it doesn't say buy banknotes before you leave either. It says load your banknotes onto your travel card. Why? Because you can load multiple currencies, plus you can lock in the exchange rate.
Oh, so if I'm leaving and the exchange rate is particularly good, I can lock it in at that point and go on my travels without having to worry about a sudden fluctuation or anything.
Exactly. You take a banknote, you arrive in London, and it is still £100.
Okay. So explain to me about what the catch is here, because it sounds to me like this is almost too good to be true. Is there any?
There is no catch. Look, if the fluctuation slips the other direction, you might then lose out on a rand or two because actually the fluctuation has gone typically down, which hasn't happened in the past 10 years. Plus, if you've already planned to spend a whooping 10,000 rand internationally, when you're out there, you want to spend that 10,000 rand. So even when you do face the fact that it's fluctuated the different direction, you're still just spending 10,000 rand.
Exactly.
Safe to say, there probably isn't a catch.
Yeah, lovely. Because it sounds like the bank charges are all sorted. It's a really easy thing to use. So help me understand why I shouldn't be printing money. Why shouldn't I convert actual cash? Why shouldn't I carry cash on holiday?
So look, we all would love to say don't carry cash. You should maybe take a few foreign notes so that you can tip when you're out there. But from a usability perspective, you don't want to be carrying large lump sums of cash. We know even domestically what that attracts, and you don't want to do that in a country where you are not even part of the, you know.
It's all in an instant.
Exactly, exactly. Plus, while you're out there, if you're carrying banknotes, how do you gauge how much you are using versus how much you should be using? Secondly, your banknotes might arrive at $100 and leave actually being $80. Here with a card, you are one safe, you have convenience, plus whichever country you are in, if it is one of the 8 currencies that are on there, the card will predominantly pick which currency to use. If you're carrying cash, you have to now go into an exchange and then change in this different country.
And lose money
London
in the process.
Exactly.
Okay. So what are these 8 currencies that are on the card?
So on the card, we have the predominant big boys, as they call them, the pound, the dollar, but we also have the Hong Kong dollar, as well as the Indian rupees on there already. Now, I could list all of these. We have the New Zealand dollar as well. The Australian dollar is on there. The big boy euro is also one of the currencies. And coming up very soon will be the Thai baht as well as the becoming famous Dubai dirham.
Okay, so how do we go and get this? Because, I mean, if it's something, I want to go on a holiday now, so I want to go get it as soon as possible.
It would be to your advantage to get it right now, because as we are launching the card, it comes free of any fees until the 31st of December. You can get it at any Nedbank Forex branch. Just pop into a branch that has the Forex exchange sign from Nedbank, and you can get your card.
Stunning. You guys are also running a competition by signing up.
Exactly. So for the next 4 more days, Travel Start will be offering 1 of 5 packages to the value of 10,000 Rand. But from day all the way to the 31st of March, if you take up a travel card with Nedbank, you stand a chance to win 50,000 Rand international holiday to anywhere in the world.
Sheesh. I am on that. I got one holiday coming and I want another one to go. Dennis, thank you so much for coming to us on the show and sharing this with us. Cannot wait to get traveling now. Makes it sound so easy. So whether it's lunch in Paris, shopping in New York, or a full day in the sun on the beaches of Mauritius, whatever your dream holiday is, it can be yours. When you sign up for a new Nedbank travel card, you stand the chance of winning a 50,000 Rand holiday to anywhere in the world. So visit any Nedbank Forex or nedbank.co.za and get signed up today. This is your chance to win the ultimate holiday getaway, so don't miss this opportunity. And remember that terms and conditions do apply and can be found on nedbank.co.za.
There's still so much more to come on Afternoon Express. A live performance from Nelly Sibiya. Plus, it is day 8 of the Clicks Advent Calendar 2017. So keep your phones handy because the lines will open on our command after the break. That number to dial is 021 430 9881. Call us after the break.
The Clicks Advent Calendar on Afternoon Express has 36,000 Rands worth of prizes to be won to make your Christmas wishes come true. Among the prizes we've given away, there's been a collection of gifts for ladies and a net florist hamper. But the joy continues with sweet treats, a collection of gents fragrances, and a sorbet hamper still up for grabs. Don't miss your chance to win with hashtag Clicks Christmas on Afternoon Express at 4 p.m. on SABC3.
Check one, 2, 2, 2, 2. Two, 1, 2. Yeah, 2, 1, 2. I got everything. Cool, thank you.
The Clicks Advent Calendar on Afternoon Express has 36,000 Rands worth of prizes to be won to make your Christmas wishes come true. Among the prizes we've given away, there's been a collection of gifts for ladies and a net florist hamper. But the joy continues with sweet treats, a collection of gents fragrances, and a sorbet hamper still up for grabs.
Ho, ho, ho! Welcome back to Afternoon Express. And yes, it's time for the Clicks Advent Calendar giveaway. Has your Monday been blue and sad and tiring today? Well, we're going to make it so much better. The lines are officially open, ladies and gents. Call in right now, 021 430 9881. Now, last week, Thursday, Mombasa won the net florist hamper to the value of 3,000 Rand, but there are still so many more prizes to be won. So with 7 boxes left to choose from, which box will today's winner pick? We're going to find out very, very soon. The numbers I've still got available are numbers 1, 2, 6, 4, 5, 8, and 10. All you have to do is call into the show. The first line through to the floor will be our winner for the day. They pick a number, and underneath the box will be a prize for you that we'll obviously send your way with a whole bunch of gifted hampers. Perhaps it's something you want to re-gift to a family friend of yours. But each box is valued at 3,000 Rand, which is awesome. Right, let's meet our winner for today, all the way from Cape Town, Vanessa. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Hi there.
How are you?
Good, and you?
You sound very composed today, Vanessa. I'm seeing you doing very well today.
Absolutely. I'm surprised I got through.
Yay, I'm also very surprised. I'm very glad that you got through. You get to be a winner on the show today. So there's a whole bunch of numbers in front of me. Like I said, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Underneath each is a 3,000 Rand prize. Which number are you going to select?
I think let's go with number 1, please.
Number 1 is right over here. Is number 1 this box? What is going to be underneath? What's going to be underneath? Oh my word, it's sweet treats. Congratulations. Chocolate, like a lifetime supply of chocolates. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. This is awesome.
Well done.
Very, very well done to you. Congratulations, Vanessa. Who's going to eat all these chocolates? You, or are you going to re-gift this to a family friend?
My partner and my sister.
Lovely. Well, enjoy the gift and congratulations. We're going to send this your way. Stay on the line.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, Vanessa. Have a good afternoon, and thanks for tuning into Afternoon Express. Now, don't forget about the Clicks Advent Calendar Grand Prize. I'm talking 50,000 Rands worth of products, including 5,000 Rands Clicks gift card, lint hamper, and so much more. Just head over to the Afternoon Express Facebook page and reply to the competition post listing the 3 items from Clicks that are on your wish list. And don't forget to use the hashtag ClicksChristmas. VAS rates apply, T's and C's apply. Visit afternoonexpress.co.za to find them. That competition closes on the 20th of December. More chances to win with the Clicks Advent Calendar giveaway tomorrow.
'Tis the season to be winning with the Clicks Advent Calendar competition on Afternoon Express. Call in, pick a box, and you could win hampers of fragrances, body care products, cosmetics, and sweet treats, and so much more from hashtag ClicksChristmas.
Congratulations once more to our Advent Calendar winner. Remember, sharing is caring. And what better way to celebrate and wrap up a fantastic show than a live performance? Here is Nelisiwe Sibiya with her hit single, Mama Bafana. Those of you who know the song know that it's heart-wrenching, but the voice behind the song is unforgettable. Take it away.
Wamama Bafana, Bafana ngimthanda, kwakuyiphuthu kumbanana. Wamama Bafana, Bafana ngimthanda, kwakuyiphuthu kumbanana. Oh yo, sasithandana. Sasithandana impela ngangizama ukuyivikela zawawayo sasithandana wayethu uyangishaya ngangiyivikela zawa ngiyaxolisa mama Sola namhlanje ngangivikela mina Wamama Bafana Bafana ngangimthanda kwakuyiphuthu kumbanana
Come and take a seat. Wow. The power that comes out of your mouth when you perform is just amazing. I've always said good musicians don't necessarily have to, like sing beautiful lyrics, anything else. It's just about that, what it makes you feel. And you know how to convey emotion and feeling through music.
Thank you so
It's
much.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Is it a release of yours? Do you find writing and singing and performing is an opportunity for you to put what's going on inside, outside?
It's just a way of expressing how I feel. And I believe, to me, music, it's more than music. It's ministry. So in a way, I have to touch people's lives when I sing. It's just not entertainment. It's more than that.
Yeah.
It's a calling.
Absolutely.
Has it worked, Jeannie?
No, let me tell you, I can't explain to you how I feel about you. I'm so obsessed, and I just want everything good to come to you in your life.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You really, you touch people. You really do.
And what do you hope for people to take away from your book when they read your book?
I speak to survivors, and I think one of the biggest things is we sometimes define ourselves according to what was done to us, and we live our lives as victims. And I think what I want people to take from my book is that a 5-year-old girl, sexually abused, addicted to alcohol and drugs, almost prostitution, homeless, to a wife, mother, speaker, life coach, and it all took a fight. You know, it took fighting. So I think for everybody, fight to find who you truly are, not what they said you are or what they did to you and made you feel you are. For me, I saw a light in me, a glimpse of the light, and I just said to myself, I can't die without meeting that light me.
You are so remarkable, just having the power in order to, because it's difficult. It's so difficult to come out of that, and you've done so in such an extraordinary way.
I want to ask you to please to speak to parents, on the show today who are watching the show, who have youngsters who are perhaps unaware or not too sure how to ask the right questions and be there and be present. What is the message to parents?
The first thing I would like to say is that a child's voice matters the most. I feel that for me, communication back in the day especially was a luxury in our families. And you felt that as a child you couldn't speak, and if you spoke, it doesn't matter. So I think we need to open up safe zones so that even if a child says to you, oh, the bird is flying, you allow them to feel safe that they can come to you and tell you the most craziest things and you will listen. Because I wish I spoke earlier, because I would have avoided a lot of turmoil in my life. I'm glad that though I went through it, because it allows me to understand what people are going through now, but I'm like, nobody has to go through what I went through. So parents, please open up to your kids, be attentive. I've got a 10-year-old girl, and I'm obsessed with her because I want her to trust me enough to come and tell me if somebody touches her or if somebody says anything to her. So parents, just be there, be paranoid, you know, be extra paranoid about your kids.
That's really good.
Thanks.
That's a really good message. Thank you so much.
So much. Thank you, both of you.
Honey and I basically are like pandas.
Finished.
Thank you so much for today and for your bravery, really.
And South Africa,
amazing
please
show.
keep the conversation happening on social media. #Afternoon Express. We'll see you tomorrow for the cook along. Myself and Jeannie will be inviting a very special chef into the loft. Good night and happy eating.
Bye.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.